Please be ready for dictation of exercise number 7 and 8 from April 2023 issue of Progressive Magazine. 5 seconds to go. Mr. Deputy Chairman, Sir, I support this bill. I congratulate the Honorable Minister of Health for bringing this bill. I hope the Health Minister is strong enough for implementing this bill effectively. This food adulteration and drug adulteration are very serious crimes. The offenders, like adulterants and adulterators, are both anti-national and anti-social without any doubt. There are many kinds of adulterations. There are factories running for the manufacture of small stones in some towns. These factories are producing small stones to be mixed with rice. I have been affected by it. Many people in India are affected by it. Therefore, I would request the government to take very stringent action on these anti-national and anti-social elements, the adulterators, and about adulterants also. There are so many kinds of adulteration. There is adulteration in milk. Nowadays, I cannot say whether the milk vendors are pouring water into milk or they are actually pouring milk into water. This is the extent of adulteration. I have seen it in many cities and also in villages. There is adulteration in tea leaves and in coffee powder. There is adulteration in mutton by mixing beef. There is adulteration in ghee. You are all aware of these things. There is adulteration in cold drinks also. Adulteration is no doubt a serious crime. It should be out to a stop by the government under these special circumstances under the present government. I would like to ask the Honorable Minister to advise the governors in the states to implement the provisions of this bill very strictly and to punish adulterators in rice and in many essential commodities. Even in drugs, there is adulteration. Many children, men and women are killed on account of large-scale adulteration, but the action is very poor. The baby food is also adulterated. In the case of drugs, I would request the Honorable Minister to bring an amendment in the Drugs Act to punish severely the adulterators in drugs, to give the maximum punishment of death sentence to the offenders under the Drugs Act for killing human beings. As my honorable friend very correctly pointed out, the adulteration is not an offense which is suddenly committed by these people. It is done in a pre-planned manner with an ulterior motive, with bad intentions and with most criminal intentions. Even ordinary murderers under Section 302 of the IPC are given death sentence. I hope when a case is detected, tried and proved of a grave act of adulteration, then the punishment must be definite, heavy, and exemplary, because unless the punishment is exemplary, it will not act as an effective deterrent. I would like to say a few words about voluntary agencies, social organizations, and public spirited men and women have a great part to play in all these spheres, and I hope the government will do everything in their power to see that voluntary agencies and the public spirited individuals are given all encouragement and assistance, because although the state's hands is bound to be and must be a watching hand on checking the evil, and it has to be a helping hand, the responsibilities must be greater and stronger. It is from that angle that the consumers' interests, the consumers' council, and the consumer movements, as one sees in countries like the UK and USA and the other countries, must also be helped to develop in our country. There are certain defects in the bill. Under the existing section, there is a provision that the sample taken by the food inspector shall be divided into 3 parts. One will be given to the person from whom the sample is taken. The other is sent to the local health authorities. And the third one is sent for public analysis to the public analyst. The provision of giving a sample to the person concerned is a safeguard against manipulation and misuse by the food inspector and persons connected with his department. This salutary safeguard is sought to be taken away by amending the provisions of this Act. Therefore, it should be restored, because the government's intention is to prevent harassment of the honest traders. Secondly, adulterant has been defined in this bill as any material which is used for adulteration. That has not been defined in this bill at all. Only adulterated article and adulterated food have been defined, and even if water is mixed with milk, then water is used as an adulterant for adulteration of milk. Now, therefore, if water is stored, it will also fall within the definition of adulterant. If sugar is mixed in barfi in excessive quantity and the khoya is not mixed as prescribed, then sugar can also be said to have been used as an adulterant. Therefore, my submission is that there is no necessity of defining adulterants afresh in this bill. In the old bill, it has been laid down that any material which is used for adulteration can be seized by the food inspector. Stop.